Hi folks, I'm Joe Guerzo from Charlotte County Libraries and History, and we're here at the All-Star Bar filming another episode of Charlotte County Musicians Factory. And our guest today is going to be the lovely Beth Travers. So come on inside and check it out with me. And remember, All-Star has music every night, Tuesday through Saturday. So come on, check them out. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Charlotte County Musician Factory, CC Musician Factory. My name is Joe Guerzo with Libraries and History, and we are here at the beautiful All-Star Bar in beautiful Port Charlotte. And my guest today is the one and only lovely Beth Travers. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
Beth, how's the arm?
It's coming right along.
Okay.
Little swollen, you know.
Beth was supposed to be my guest back in December, but she broke her arm, and she's back now, and she's ready to go. So
The day before we had whatever it was, hurricane, tornado, blew through. So, yeah.
She's very prolific. She works a lot of venues here in town. So you should go out and see her. Where are some of the venues you play at?
I love Charlotte County. Did I mention that?
Yeah.
I do Fisherman's Village a lot, Riviera, sometimes the Navigator, End Zone. I do the Waverly out at Inglewood Beach.
Okay,
So,
cool. Well, let's get started. Where are you from?
Places.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Connecticut, grew up in the tri-state area, up in New York State a little bit, and then spent time in Arizona growing up, and Nashville a long time. So
Okay.
Germany a little bit.
How old were you when you first started playing music?
8.
Oh.
8 years old.
What did you play? What instrument?
Well, I wanted a guitar, but they bought me a baritone ukulele. It was the scourge of my life. I was so embarrassed, but now ukuleles are really hot, so it's okay now.
This might be a loaded question, but what made you want to become a musician?
Oh, I don't know. Self-expression, maybe?
Were there any bands or musicians that inspired you to want to start your own band?
Oh, gosh.
Who?
Dylan.
Of course.
The Byrds. The Beatles. Oh, my gosh, the
You
Beatles.
can't forget the Beatles. Did you have a first music teacher that you appreciated, or can look back on?
Mr. Ledoux.
Yeah. What was he teaching you in school?
Yeah, they let me sing in the chorus. I was pretty bad, but they didn't kick me out.
When was your first non-school performance, like in a band or as a solo performer?
Yeah, not as a solo performer so much, but I joined a little rock and roll band that did like Neil Young and.
Oh, really? Yeah. What instrument were you playing in that band?
Guitar.
Oh, okay.
That was before the bass era.
Yeah, she told me before we did we're doing this interview. She told me she played bass, so I was kind of wondering when that came into play.
Yeah, the next time I wanted to get into a really good band, there were all these, girls auditioning, and I came up, did my little sing, and they're like, well, if you could play bass, we would let you in the band.
Okay.
So off to the music store.
So you picked up a bass. How much did you pay for that bass?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Maybe a couple of $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It went south from there, later in life I was playing.
I know the Kims are my favorite female bass players, Kim Gordon and Kim Deal. Were there any inspirational bass players you had at that time?
Oh gosh.
Those two were pretty good, Kim Gordon and Kim Deal.
Yeah, there are so many good players. And Carol, I just have to say Carol Kay out loud.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure.
She kind of cut a lot of those Detroit-based, Motor City kind of bass lines and stuff, along with James.
So how long did you do the bass playing?
Until when I moved down here, somebody called me up that found me in Inglewood, and he said, do you still play bass? I'd worked for him in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Do you still play bass? And I'm like, no, I don't do that anymore. And he goes, I pay a really good price for anyone that can read charts and play bass. And I was like, how much exactly? And I'm online, looking. And I'm like, he said, well, I'll pay you $200 a gig. And I'm like, well, I'm online looking now. I'm like, I play a little bass still.
Yeah, that's a good price around here. I take that too.
I know. He was paying out of his pocket, I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
But
well, let's talk about Nashville. How old were you when you moved there?
Oh, gosh. 20s, I guess.
Okay.
20s.
And you got a job
I got all kinds of jobs. If you're a musician and a songwriter, you will do anything for a living.
But you did get a job writing songs, though. That's what I was alluding to.
I started writing with everybody, and I was fortunate enough to be placed at some good publishing companies down in Nashville, and I did write a lot of songs. I mean, I wrote with a lot of people, wrote a lot of songs, came very close to some hits.
Right.
But I never quite like hit that plateau or you're famous for that one.
Yeah.
So.
Not to go nuts with the name dropping, could you just name a couple that people probably would have heard of?
Oh, Danny Mayo, he had a lot of hits. I wrote with him a lot. I wrote with Win Varble. I wrote with, he's got a lot of hits out now. I wrote with, gosh, I could kind of go on and on. I've got a lot of buddies that I write with all the time, like Donna Frost and.
How about the artists? You mentioned John Barry to me. I know John Barry.
Yeah, no, I didn't play with John Barry. I just had a song
for him,
hold on
which I think is awesome. Yeah.
Which was a really cool song written with a lot of hit writers and myself called One Undeniable Love. I have to remember to check that out.
Right.
Another one with Neil McCoy, which was Fit to be Tied, the song was called.
Right.
And,
that's a good name.
And unfortunately came out at the same time as another hit that was Fit to be Tied Down. Oh. So it kind of got ditched at the last minute because the other one beat it out.
Okay.
So
you've been writing songs for a long time. Is the Nashville, is it always a team that works on songs? Because you always hear about how they have like a team of songwriters. Because you mentioned people you write with.
Yeah, I love co-writing.
Right.
But I love writing by myself too. But I tend to stay a little left of center when I'm writing by myself. Like my songs will be a little bit like, I really like that. And when you're in a writing appointment with other writers, you'll be saying, I have this line I want to say, you know, something about love, and they say, yeah, but how are you going to say it? You know, and I was like, well, I was just going to say it like that. You know, so everything gets kind of honed down and perfected, I think, when I co-write more than when I write by myself.
So when you were in Nashville, and we spoke to Jack Mosley the last time, and he's on your label, Music for Grownups. Tell us a little bit about that label and how you got started.
All right, and then that's really my husband's brainchild. We created it together, but it was his name. He always wanted to have a record company called MFG, which stood for Music for Grownups, which I'm still working on the grown-up thing.
Aren't we all?
But we finally had enough time where we could spend some production time with people, and we started with Jack Mosley. He was our first, and then I did a project, and then Dave did, and now we have a Key West artist named Danny Hoy, who's kind of famous down there.
Okay.
We have an artist up in South Dakota who's his name is Greg Hager. You can look him up online. He's a really cool cowboy artist.
Greg Hager, okay.
Yeah, and a few other people. Oh, Florida guy, awesome Florida guy. He's born and raised in Arcadia.
Oh.
Old Florida family named Mac Martin.
Martin.
He's our newest guy. He's a super cool songwriter.
Cool, and you got distribution?
Now that I think how busy that is, no.
You don't have distribution? Okay.
We're looking for distribution. No. We literally, I mean, everything is digital. Everybody does their own. We're like a little co-op group.
Okay.
More. But we do have production capabilities, and that's where songwriters really do need the help, right at the front, getting those good projects out, taking their ideas and making the production a step higher than it might have been.
Do you have a studio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where's that?
We have a studio in Nashville and a studio here as well, in Englewood.
In Englewood, there you go.
Yeah.
So what year is this about when you started this label?
During COVID. It was COVID era.
Oh, okay. So it's very recent.
No, actually, we had Greg before that, so I probably misspoke myself. So we had Greg going by about 2017, I guess.
Okay.
16, 17, and it's been growing since then.
So is this album that Beth did the artwork on? Is this
I did do the artwork.
This is before the label?
My first day with a stylist.
Yes.
No, that was the second one for the label. And for our tropical division, because I really kind of started gravitating down here and spending my time.
I must say I've been enjoying listening to her as research for this interview. And I hope I don't insult you, but these are two people that I really admire. It kind of strikes me as a cross between Lucinda Williams.
Oh gosh, that is such a compliment.
And Juice Newton. So
I
it's like-
love them both.
It's like Lucinda Williams if she wasn't, you know,
She's amazing.
yeah, a happier Lucinda Williams.
Yeah.
Most sounding.
Well, I strive to be happier, but Lucinda Williams is such a prolific writer, and she's got that soulful thing going.
Yeah.
I love her writing.
Yeah, I had a crush on
Yeah.
her for the longest time.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I got to meet her in Athens one time.
And Juice Newton's very cool too.
Yeah.
So
Do you ever
I-
run into those guys in your circles in Nashville?
Lucinda Williams, when I first moved there, you could run into her, and I don't think I've even met Juice Newton.
Oh, okay.
And I could be wrong, because, you know, as I tell my husband, if I tell you I don't know somebody and they come up and say, "Hi, Beth,"
Yeah.
just play along, you know?
Yeah. If you look her up online, Beth Travers, and listen to her music. I was listening to it for the last couple of days. It's made me very happy. I was going to ask you about
I hope
certain
so.
songs. If we had time. Girls Like Us was a very, I like the
So
song.
don't you think that's kind of angst-ridden?
A little bit, yeah.
I have a favorite co-writer in Nashville, Donna Frost, and it's like we would take all of our respective relationship foibles
Yeah.
and shove them all into one song. You know?
I can definitely picture the guy that you're singing about in that song. I've seen him many a time.
Yeah, I've seen him too.
But a lot of the songs, and I guess this is what Mosley told me, was that it's trop rock. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
So it's very good to drink on the beach too. And not that I'm recommending drinking, but it's very
But,
happy and
yeah.
festive kind of music.
Yeah.
So look her up for sure. Tell me a little bit about the songs on those albums. Did you write all of them by yourself, or like
No,
you said,
you
had
noticed I put
co-writers?
3 cover tunes on that
Yes.
first one.
Yes.
So I hadn't cut a songwriter's album really ever, because most of the stuff that I'd been writing was going straight to publishing companies like Polygram, Universal. And I don't even know those songs, but these songs, I had favorite songwriters that I had written certain songs that I loved. And so I went back and kind of grabbed songs I had that I loved and wrote some new ones. And then I'm like, I can't do a songwriter album without honoring some of the people that, like Dylan or
Right.
Paul Simon.
Yeah, she does Blowin' in the Wind. She
Yeah.
does Homeward Bound. And she does Get Together by the Youngbloods.
Yeah, which I love. I love that
That's a great song,
So
yeah.
I did 10 original songs on there, but I put those on just because
Yeah.
I am not all that. You know what I mean?
I thought when I saw Runaway Train was the first song, I thought maybe you did the Soul Asylum Runaway
yeah,
Train
no,
song.
that's our own Runaway Train.
Yeah. And I like the steel drums in Defying Gravity. That's a good one too. So,
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
so those
I
are
love
some
that one
songs you
too.
might want to look up if you guys got.
Yeah.
And it's called Late Bloomer. Why is it called Late Bloomer?
Oh,
This is music for grown-ups, right?
I actually have a song called Late Bloomer.
Yeah.
And we weren't that old when we wrote that song. But when I started recording again, I thought, should I be doing this, you know? It's like, I'm about 19, you know, at heart.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm 93 with really good skin out on the beach. So Late Bloomer kind of speaks for itself. I'm just doing what I want to do now.
Before we move on to your song, can we talk about venues? You told me you played at the Ryman Auditorium, which was the original.
Yeah,
Grand
so
Ole
I
Opry.
did some special things at the Ryman while I was in Nashville, which is an honor just to stand on that wooden circle that they have there.
Yeah.
And then they moved that out to the Opry. So I also played, that was famous because it was the mother church of country music and had the Grand Ole Opry. But I did play the Grand Ole Opry out at the new Opry later on as a bass player, always as a bass player later on, you know, somebody's side man. But
Right.
it was always an honor anyway. It's a great, great venue.
I would be honored. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So would you say that's your favorite place to have played?
No, I would say that's my most stressful place to have played.
I guess it
no,
would be.
it was lovely, like enchanting. But I worked for Ray Stevens a lot. He was the guy that did
The Streak.
and the Mississippi Squirrel, and so I would say that would have been my most stressful one because he had a 17-piece band with 3 girls in beautiful dresses and a 5-piece horn section.
Really?
And,
Wow.
the bass was always doing bass solos at the front, you know, and always playing with him. And he's this amazing musician. Everybody thinks he's just a joke, but he's
Right,
like
because the songs are good.
such a genius,
Yeah.
you know?
Is he still
Yeah,
going?
yeah.
Okay.
I watched him on public TV the other night.
Really?
And some of the people that I worked with on that show are still working for him. So
I guess I'm trying to get Best gig ever. What was it?
That was the best gig
That
ever.
was the best gig
That
ever.
paid so well, and I got flown around in private jets and treated like I was special. So
I like asking them the best gig ever, but I'm always interested in the worst gig ever. What was the worst gig ever you had?
Oh gosh. Oh, that's a hard question.
You never had bottles thrown at you? I've had bottles thrown at me.
You know, I'm not sure I've had bottles thrown at me, but I have had some ones where, you know, you just couldn't wait to be done.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah. Some more recent than others,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that's okay. We'll move on
I
to
don't-
asking her about, first you're going to be playing this Taylor guitar.
Yeah.
Where did you get that? Tell us a little story
Okay,
about that.
so
one.
this is a pretty recent addition. I bought this thing as just an old used orphan from
Looks
Guitar
good.
Center in Nashville. But this was the guitar I wanted when I
Right.
was writing songs, and I never would indulge myself to get the guitar.
Yeah.
So I played this old Yamaha, which was a nice guitar as well. But when I saw this, I bought it because I thought, okay, finally, you deserve this guitar, even if you didn't get that big
She does.
hit. You know? So I went and had it worked on. Taylor fixed it up for me, and
Oh, that's
it's kind of
awesome.
special. I don't use it. I use those Fender Acoustasonics
Right.
out on gigs. So I guess I love it so much that I leave it home.
Can I borrow it?
Sure. You want it tonight?
Yeah, sure. I
But
got
I'm carrying it with me. Take it with you.
No, I feel.
I think
Honored.
this thing would be honored to have you play it.
Well, thank
Seriously.
you. I appreciate
It
that.
doesn't like staying home in the case.
Have you seen how I bang on my guitars?
No, but I feel like this thing has dealt with all of that before.
Okay.
There's even like pencil prints, so I'm pretty sure that another guitar player
At least there's
in
no set
Nashville.
list drawn in there.
Yeah, no. That means it was really a songwriter. They never play the same song twice.
Can I ask you about your songwriting? I mean, basically music or lyrics first. What usually comes for you, or is it different every time?
I very seldom start with music or start with a
Really?
groove. Some people do. Some people come in and they're like,
Yeah,
you know,
they have the groove.
and I like doing that with other people when I'm co-writing. Usually, I'll start with an idea,
right.
you know, a hook, if you will. Sometimes it's hooky, and sometimes it's just something that
lyrical
I
hook.
think a lyrical hook.
Okay.
And then I get the guitar, and the guitar seems to help create the flow.
Right. I hear that.
So the music kind of comes out with the lyric for me.
Okay.
But I sometimes will do it another way. If I'm writing with somebody and we nail down the lines, I'll add the music afterwards.
Okay.
But to me, it's a little more unwieldy doing that.
Yeah.
I suppose sometimes when you have to work harder at it like that, you maybe get a better song.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Rather
yeah, I
than
totally
just your
understand that.
normal thing that pops out of your head.
Yeah. I guess it's different for everybody because I do get
Yeah.
different answers, but
Yeah.
the hook is always the important thing. If you got the hook,
Lyrical hook
yeah,
for you?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
My brother told me he took a songwriting class in Nashville, and that they were
Yeah.
telling everybody to come up with the first line
Oh, yeah?
or title, just the title, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And have a hooky title, of course. But
Yep.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the song you're about to play and how you came about writing it. The song you're about to play for us.
Okay, it's kind of a ploy. I wrote this one since I was down here.
A ploy. What do you mean?
To get work in a way.
Oh.
Yeah, I work for a lot of people down here. I don't get a lot of attention because sometimes when they look for a Nashville songwriter, they're looking for a 20-year-old blonde, which I still haven't figured out how to be. No, I'm just kidding. So I
I'm
kept
just-
thinking they've got all these great gigs. I need to say how much I want to go. So, and this guitar kind of inspired this because I had
Okay.
just gotten this guitar, and I was thinking that I really want to like get on the road and do a little more. I'm playing plenty, so
Yeah,
I
she's
should
playing all
stop.
the time.
I should stop
She's my
asking
hero.
for things.
She plays a
I'm
lot.
playing enough, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm counting my blessings.
I
you
know.
It's,
Every
it's
day I
okay
do
to keep
too.
wanting stuff, but I'm grateful for every little. I'm grateful for every plateful, as it said on.
So when you say it's a
Big
ploy,
Bang Theory.
what's the song about?
It's called "My Guitar Is My Boat."
My guitar's my. You got me already with that title, so.
And you asked, you know, why I chose that one, and I literally, I'm going to be dead honest, I chose it so I wouldn't have to tune up with the capo on the third fret.
They always have different
So-
reasons why they pick their songs. So
But anyway, it's kind of new, and you know how a song, you're probably the same way. When you have a new song and you've been playing it, I haven't recorded it
Yeah.
yet. All right, I've tried, but I think
I woke up
you
this
did.
morning playing the newest song I
Yeah.
wrote, so I know what you mean.
You always have that on your mind, you
Yeah.
know.
All right, well,
Ready?
without any further ado, My guitar is my boat.
My guitar is my boat. Her body is full of music like a sweet steel band. Her strings, they ring violent things. And I feel every word she thinks as breezes start to blow. And when she plays along, she can move my soul. My guitar is my boat, she takes me up and down the coast, from Florida Keys to Caribbean Sea and old Mexico. She fills my sails with hope, lets me do what I love most. Everywhere I wanna go, my guitar is my boat. And sometimes I face a long and stormy night. My guitar is the anchor that helps me hold on tight and carries me to sultry summer islands so remote. I sail away, my guitar is my boat. My guitar is my boat, she takes me up and down the coast, from Florida Keys to Caribbean Sea and old Mexico. She fills my sails with hope, lets me do what I love most. Everywhere I wanna go, my guitar is my boat. With the heart of a sailor, she'll sail the seven seas, flying high in paradise on songs that give me wings. My guitar is my boat, she takes me up and down the coast, from Florida Keys to Caribbean Sea and old Mexico. She fills my sails with hope, lets me do what I love most. Everywhere I wanna go, my guitar is my boat. It's what I love most. Everywhere I wanna go, my guitar is my boat.
Beth Travers, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Go see her. She's
So
awesome.
sweet.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Joe.
it.
Can I shake hands this way?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
And she
sorry.
did that with a broken arm,
I did
guys.
get a little stuck in it.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
And thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you again on
See you out there, everyone.
Musician Factory.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.